Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, yeah, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday.
So you have just picked up your Pixel 10, Pixel 10 Pro, or maybe the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and now want to kit yourself out with some of the best accessories. Now I've got around about 15 for you here today, and starting off with the first thing that most people go for with any phone, and that is the case. Now this one literally arrived in the mail yesterday. It is from a company called Magback, and I literally have one of their cases for pretty much every smartphone that I own, that I review, that they make a case for. They are one of my favorites by far. Now firstly, it's a decent thickness, so it's going to protect all your phone from drops at all angles. It protects the cameras on the back. It also protects the glass on the front with its kind of raised edge, and it also gives you access to everything on the phone that you need. Actually, plus you can customize the case with these different colored color packs if you wish. You just buy them separately. There's like a white pack here. There is a red pack here as well. Now you also get additional features on this phone case, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much, such as the magnetic kickstand at the bottom. You get a pinky pillow, which also doubles up as this additional protection for water protection. There's a tuck away finger loop on the back as well, and also additional magnets, which is like, this is the beauty of these Magback products and why I've grown to love them so much over the past few years. Now, the Pixels do have Qi 2 magnetic wireless charging now this year, but the additional magnets on the back of the cases are strong enough to stick to literally any metal surface. Like when I'm at the gym, I stick it to the equipment in front of me to follow my workout routine. In the kitchen, I can stick it to a microwave oven or fridge just to watch a video, or just have the phone in easy reach if you're mid-texting with someone. I actually found it really useful when in Vegas earlier this year, when I could stick my phone to like a metal part of the hotel wall whilst I was then getting ready whilst on a video call or a voice call to my wife. I've been using their products for years now. They are literally the first accessory I buy every phone I own, from the Pixel 9, 10 series of course, Samsung S22, S23, 24, iPhone 14, 15, 16, probably 17, like honestly everything. And you can get 15% off one of these cases by using the link down below. Now outside of the case, you could probably argue that anything else really isn't a must-have. I mean, technically speaking, a case isn't really a must-have, but I want to give you options because that's what we're here for accessories. So once you do have your case, you're probably going to want to protect the screen on your phone, and even though the Pixel 10 Pro has Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, it is still wise to protect your phone the best you can. It's very expensive. You may as well do the best you can to stop any scratches. Now I have two options for you here. Firstly, the Magback Elite case actually comes with a screen protector in the box, so you can just put the phone in the case, close it, pull the tab out, and it applies it really, really easily. Highly recommend that one. Second, since the Pixel 10 series doesn't include any form of anti-reflective coating like we're seeing on the S25 Ultra and maybe potentially the iPhone 17, there is a matte screen protector that you can use instead. Now this one is actually on my Pixel 9 Pro XL, but you can see that it really minimizes the reflections you get when using this phone in really bright environments or with bright lights above you. It also has a second effect on making the screen really smooth when sliding your finger over. It's kind of really satisfying to do this. If you have maybe a Pixel 9 Pro or Pro XL or a Pixel 9a even, which has this matte finish on the back of the phone, just run your finger over that and it's almost exactly what a matte screen protector feels like when you're using one. In addition, of course, to the added layer of like protection from scratches and bumps on your screen. Now these are also super cheap. I think it was under £10 here in the UK, and you get two of them included. Now next up, let's talk wallets, because for the first time ever, we can use MagSafe type wallets on the back of the Pixel, both with and without a case. And I've tried so many wallets over the years, right up to the extremely expensive options like the Ridge wallets. But MagSafe means that, again, there are a ton of options. You could even slap on like an iPhone wallet if you really wanted to. Again, a couple of options here because, well, choice is a great thing and not everyone likes the same thing. Now, firstly, from a brand called Moft, M-O-F-T, and they actually sent these out to me, I think it was a couple of years back, but I really do like this and keep coming back to it. Now, this one does hold 2 to 3 cards, but it also has this little kickstand on the bottom here, which means you can position it at different angles, or you could even slide it around and have it horizontally for watching like content, or you can kind of use it like a bit of a tripod if you want to do that instead with a little extra reach. Now, if you do need more than a couple of cards, again, Magback has a really great option here with their leather wallets. Now, this also has a finger loop, which is a nice touch, and can also be engraved with your name on the back here. And being leather, it gets this really nice finish after a while. They like age really nicely, and the leather like expands over time. So I think I can squeeze in like 8 cards right now, but I tend to just keep 5 in here just for when I'm traveling, since I usually just pay by phone all the time. Plus, being Magback, these also have some extra magnets in, which are extra strong, as you can, hope and imagine. You can literally spin this wallet and the phone case around on your finger without the phone flying off. And this is the XL phone as well, so it's the heaviest phone. So if you are worried about, using a magnetic wallet and it coming off, then this like mag-back combination, the wallet and the case, solid option. Okay, let's talk charging now. So Pixels this year have a slightly upgraded charging speed. So we have 30 watts on the Pixel 10 and the Pixel 10 Pro, and then 45 watts on the Pixel 10 Pro XL. And again, I have a few options here for you depending on your situation. Now I actually spent like a few £100s of my own money recently buying just a different bunch of charging products, and I've actually settled on these ones. So let's cover off Anker first. This one is like the portable charger to take with you. I've taken it on flights. I throw it in my bag. It is so good. Why is it so good? Well, because it has these two USB-C cables which are already attached. One of them is retractable, which also has a magnet to snap down the charging end to the charger. And this short one that's actually made of this really flat, high quality braided cable, again, feels really solid and makes this loop, it kind of loops on itself, which makes it then easy to grab if you want to use it as a handle or just trying to dash out of the house with it or just trying to fish it out of your bag. Really useful. There is also a third USB-C port, which you'll need to bring your own cable for, and a USB-A port. So all three ports can supply 100 watts, although not at the same time. So this is a 165 watt charger at most. There is also a display on the front here, which shows you things like charging information, battery health, 25,000 milliamp hours. So it is safe to take on flights. And you can charge a Pixel 10 Pro just over 5 times and a Pixel 10 Pro XL just under 5 times. Since the fastest way to charge a phone is via wired, I always just pick one of these over like the wireless chargers that snap onto the back of the phone. And actually, Anker do make a much smaller version, like pocketable charger, if you did want something to carry around in a pocket instead. So I'll leave a link down below for that one also. Honestly, like Anker are like the OGs when it comes to charging. They've just been around for like a really long time. They've just got a good reputation for making really great, really safe, really reliable charging products. Second is the Anker wall charger. Excuse the size of it because we have this big 3-pin plug on the UK. Now this one is 140 watts. It has 4 ports on the bottom, so 3 of them USB-C, 1 of them USB-A, and it also has a screen on the back, or I guess rather the front, to show you what it's actually doing, which is really useful to know if the device that's plugged into is actually charging and at what speed it's charging at. Sometimes you might have this really fast charger, but the cable you're using doesn't support those fast charging speeds, so you'll be able to actually see that with this charger. I'm actually going to touch on charging cables in a little bit, just so you don't get bored of me talking about charging. So next up, let's talk about audio now. Obviously, if you want to stick with the Pixel kind of ecosystem, then we have the Pixel Buds Pro 2s, which are still a fantastic buy. Loads of features to them. You've got adaptive noise cancellation, Gemini Live, you can answer calls with like a nod, a great battery life. They also integrate with the Find Hub if you ever lose them, and they are just a pretty solid fit with the winged ear tips on here as well. And actually, if you are watching this on the day that I posted the video, you can enter to win a pair of these by signing up to my newsletter. It's called Experiments in Progress. Link will just be in the description below. I'm also giving away a magback case as well as part of this, and we've got some other fun giveaways coming up in the near future, so do get subscribed if you kind of want to see the other tech that I'm testing and using twice per week, and possibly with some other fun stuff along the way too. Outside of the Pixel Buds, my go-tos are actually the Beats or Power Beats Pro 2s for when I'm at the gym, mainly because they, well, obviously, because they have these massive like loops on them, stay in, or I guess is on your ear, much more reliably than any other in-ear buds. Just for some reason, wireless earbuds just don't stay in my ears like ever. So these are what I wear to the gym. You have physical controls for the volume as well. Noise cancellation is great. Battery life is also great. And I just love the fun orange color, because you might be able to tell I'm a bit of a fan of orange. So that's cool. Oh, and actually, I forgot to mention, you can buy replacement ear tips for the Pixel Bud Pro 2s, which are made from memory foam rather than the silicone material, which comes with the buds. So if you are having trouble with the Pixel Bud Pro 2s staying in your ears, but you want to stick with them because of, all the Google stuff and all the Google features, then give them a try first before swapping for a different set of earbuds. Again, I'll just leave a link down below for those ones. So for over-the-ear headphones, I would say the Sony XM6s are like the best of the best that you can buy. They sound incredible. The noise cancellation is the best of all the headphones that I've used so far. The case is also really nice with this like magnetic clasp. There's no like fiddly zips on the case. The software also, and the way you can just EQ these things to be exactly how you want them with plenty of features. Such a good pair of headphones. However, the other option I would say is the Nothing headphones 1, they're calling them, which don't sound as good. The noise cancellation isn't as good. It's not bad. It's still very, very good, but it's not as good as the Sonys. But honestly, they just look really nice. So a lot of the time I actually pick these over the Sony XM6s just because they're fun. They also have these physical controls instead of touch controls, including this fun little kind of spinny wheel you can spin for the volume control. And there is a button you can also tap for activating Google Gemini. So those are my kind of 2/3 audio recommendations. Now my first watch recommendation is going to be obvious, not a surprise. If you want to stick in the Pixel ecosystem, it's obviously going to be the Pixel Watch 4. Like genuinely, one of the best Android smartwatches out there already. And this year it's even better with the Pixel Watch 4. It is very, very responsive. Battery life is great. It's durable. So I would just definitely recommend giving this a try. It's also powered by Snapdragon, which I'm a huge fan of. Basically, any recent Snapdragon powered device has never really let me down in terms of battery life or performance. Definitely you get almost 2 days battery life, which is a nice bump over the Pixel Watch 3. And you get faster charging with their new little kind of charging dock, 0 to 50% in just 15 minutes, which is enough for a full day. It also brings things like Google Gemini to your wrist, which is also available on the Samsung Watch latest Samsung watches they released, as well as the Pixel Watch 3. And you get things like AI generated smart replies to messages. You can use your watch to control your TV or other smart devices, or use it as your car key. Honestly, each year these Pixel watches are just getting better and better. Back with the Pixel Watch 2, it was already my favorite Android powered smartwatch. And so each year we're just getting it, faster and brighter. The bezels are getting smaller and the battery life is getting longer and longer. But if you are into your fitness and perhaps you're coming from maybe an Apple iPhone and Apple Watch, then definitely check out the range of fitness watches from Garmin. Honestly, all of them are pretty great. I've been wearing this Phoenix 8 now for like 6, maybe a year even, 6 months to a year. I've just kind of lost track. And as far as fitness watches go, they are one of the best, in my opinion. The battery life lasts for like 2 weeks. So when I travel, I just charge it up once and then I don't have to worry about charging it again. Although that's now gotten me in trouble with my wife because now I don't bring an Apple Watch charger for her watch. So there's that. Now they are limited in their smart features. They don't have things like built-in LTE, but their fitness features are second to none. However, if you don't like wearing a full-on watch, but you still want something that can help you track your fitness goals and your steps and your heart rate, then check out the Whoop 5.0 or the Whoop MG. Now I've been wearing a Whoop for 2-3 years now. I used to wear it on my wrist, but I kept getting questions on, well, why are you wearing 2 watches? Now I actually wear it on my bicep because it's more accurate there where it's nearer to your heart and everything. And the Whoop has a number of unique features which are becoming more and more useful over time. Firstly, it tracks all the usual metrics, your sleep, your heart rate variability, body temperature, and it's again one of the more accurate fitness trackers out there. You can also track things like runs to strength training to even cold plunges and sauna sessions. And using the daily journal feature is by far one of the most fascinating features. Just by answering like a series of yes or no questions each day, Whoop then builds out this huge wealth of knowledge specifically about you and like how certain activities or food or supplements can actually affect your body. So I've been taking melatonin recently to try and fix my jet lag, and that has made a huge difference, which I can then see in my Whoop stats. Essentially, it's this like tiny sensor or small sensor that straps onto your wrist, your arm, or your bicep, or just anywhere really. They make attachments that make them fit into like your shorts or your boxers or your bra, all sorts of different kind of methods there. It connects via Bluetooth to your phone, and the battery lasts a couple of weeks. There's also a little battery charging puck that slides on so you can charge it without having to take it off. Now I know it's not a typical phone accessory, but I just really like what this thing does, so I thought I'd mention it as well. Now over to a gadget that is a typical accessory, and there's actually this iPhone charger from ESR. And yes, I know iPhone charger because, well, MagSafe. And actually the magnets on here are really strong, like stronger than most other chargers. Now this is a 3-in-1 charger, but we don't have to use an Apple Watch part. You can just unplug that and not use that part. But I love this because it has this cryo boost technology, they call it, which actively cools your phone whilst it's charging. So there's never any issues where your phone tells you it stopped charging to cool down before it then resumes it. B, it also holds the phone in like just the right position when I'm at my desk, so I can still check on like my notifications. Face unlock on the Pixel also works at that angle. There's no like cricking my neck to get it to work or twisting the phone or anything. C, it has a wireless charging pad underneath if you want to throw on your Pixel buds or just any other headphones that support wireless charging. And it is just a solid design. It is only 15 watts Qi 2 charging, so if you do have a Pixel 10 Pro XL, then you can actually charge at up to 25 watts wirelessly. But again, typically when I'm sat down at my desk, or if you have this on say your bedside table, you don't really care about fast charging if you just leave it on there like all night and all day when you're at your desk anyway. Now, they also do make a car charger version of this, which again is even more important for the cryo boost technology thing that literally like blows cold air at the back of the phone, especially useful on like, hot summer days where you're driving long distances and the sun is just constantly on your phone, doing sat nav, charging, and just getting very, very hot. Again, this one provides 15-watt wireless charging, and it either clips onto your vents, or there is also a sticky pad, which I think I've probably thrown away because I've been using this car charger and also the desktop charger for over a year now. So like, honestly, as a long-term user of both of these products, I'm just yet to find anything that's better built and just does what it says on the tin as well as this does. Now, I am going to throw in a bit of a red herring into this video here just to really cover off all the bases. Now, I'm slowly upgrading my home internet and my home Wi-Fi, and I noticed a massive difference in performance when I upgraded my home Wi-Fi and installed one of these Ubiquiti U7 Pro XG access points. And as we are starting to see a very early glimpse, at least here in the UK, perhaps the rest of the world is like way ahead of us already or properly fast internet connectivity thing, but I currently get 1 gigabit per second up and down. I'm about to upgrade to 2.2 gigabits per second up and down. And if I wanted to, I could upgrade to 5 gigabits per second up and down for like £80 per month, which is just nothing here in the UK. I used to pay more than that for just 100 meg up, not gig, 100 meg, which is just only a couple of years ago or so. So it's really, really advancing very, very quickly. And actually, after speaking to a friend of mine recently who was struggling with having access to this like super fast 8 gigabits per second broadband, but wasn't able to find any hardware that supports those sort of speeds, well, this is like unified. This is something I've been using for years and years now, like prior to when I was actually running my own IT business back in 2020. So the U7 Pro XG can be connected at up to 10 gigabits on Ethernet and supports up to 5.8 gigabits over Wi-Fi if everything else on your network again supports those kind of speeds. And even if it doesn't, I'd recommend going down this route, at least just to future-proof you, as like I'm doing now. Whenever I can, I'm just going to upgrade little bits as I go. Unify just makes a whole range of incredible networking gear. I actually might make a separate video about them. Maybe let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see that one. But this access point alone has instantly sped up my house Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi speeds on my Pixel and all the phones and all the wireless devices in my home. So that's why I've included it, because it's kind of accessory, because it means you can use the fastest speeds on your home Wi-Fi. But there you go. Now, you'll know how fond I am of anything with magnets, and you'd think that magnets in a charging cable would be a bit stupid, but you'd be wrong. So a company called Magtame make these really nice charging cables made of this really nice kind of, I guess it's like TPU plasticky material. They are well built. Plus, when you're done with them, they just magnetically attach and kind of coil themselves. So it's really easy to, coil them back up again, put them down somewhere. They just don't get tangled. Also, if you have a magnetic desk, I have a Secret Lab like magnetic/metal desk behind me. They will stick to the desk and it just avoids you like accidentally knocking them off with your arm or wrist or anything like that. They support up to 60 watts charging, so more than what you need for any of the Pixel 10 series. Now they do cost a little bit more than standard just plain old Amazon basic USB-C cables, but at least you'll know you're going to get one that's quality and won't just get like into a tangled mess like they all do after a while. I'm sure we've all got one of those like cable drawers that you pull out and it's just like a mess of horrible cables. You've got to go and try and find the right cable. Speaking of which, if we are talking about premium charging cables, let's talk about premium charging cables. Now this is literally called The Future by a company called Aohi, A-O-H-I. Now it comes in this like beautiful like presentation box, which I'm sure you're going to throw away after a few minutes, but at least the thought is there. There is also a silicone storage pouch, which you can then place your cables in and carry things around. Again, I tend to not use that either because it just adds bulk. But what you do get is you get a really like flexible set of cables that can be used for like anything from a whopping 240 watt wire charging, and even for data transfer for up to 40 gigabits per second or 8K video. And with a combination of these cables, you can go from 10 centimeters to 90 centimeters, 1.8 or even 2.6 meters if you like join all of them together. They've got these attachments where you just screw them together. There is also an LED on the side of the cable, so you can see if it's green, which means it's just like trickle charging, blue, which is just regular charging, or amber, which is fast charging. Now, these are not cheap. But if you do want one set of cables that does it all, these are great to travel with. They make a great gift as well if you want to spend that sort of money on a cable as a gift. And they're a yellow, so they're really, really easy to pick out in a drawer full of like random black cables, without having to hunt for them. Really nice. Now, another item that is definitely not a must-have for your Pixel, like specifically, but I'm going to throw it in here anyway, as it's basically become part of my everyday carry right now. Now, it is a water bottle from a company called Lark, and I've used their water bottles since June 2022, so over 3 years now. So this is the latest PureViz 2. This bottle holds up to 1,000 milliliters, and it is kind of a phone accessory because it actually tracks how much water you drink each day by connecting to your phone. So if you're on the whole like health and fitness train and you want to be sure you're getting enough water in every day, this is a great option. It has this top carrying handle. It also has a button on top, which if you push, purifies the water inside to eliminate things like salmonella and E. coli, up to like 99.99% after 60 seconds. So if you are filling it up from maybe a public water point and you're not sure how good the water is there, this will help to purify that water. It also does that every 2 hours automatically, keep it that way. And then there is also a filter on the bottom of the straw that removes like even more potential contaminants like chlorine and heavy metals. So yeah, that's just a very quick mention now. Now, a few other quick mentions now. Now, if you are interested in any form of mobile gaming, then after trying the most popular controllers like the Backbone, I can definitely highly recommend the Games Sir. This is the G8, I think it is. Now, it has this really comfortable grip. There's pass-through charging on the bottom, plus there's a wide headphone on the bottom as well. There is also removable faceplates on here as well, so you can actually swap out the joysticks for different types. And overall, it's just a way more comfortable gaming controller for like really long gaming sessions or even short gaming sessions. It's just such a nice controller to use. And if you're into smart rings, then the Aura seems to be one of the most accurate smart rings out there, but it does require a monthly fee or it turns into pretty expensive paperweight and, well, not very heavy paperweight at that. Now, my go-to at the moment is the Ultra Human ring, as there's no subscription fee. It provides a ton of data on there as well. They're also expanding into things like blood testing. There's also the Ultra Human Home that monitors your home air quality. And I'm also just waiting for the latest RingCon ring to arrive as well to give that a try. So don't forget to subscribe to the Experiments in Progress newsletter, links down below, to win a MagBack case or a pair of Pixel Bud 2 Pros, plus some other fun giveaways coming up, and get twice weekly insights into the tech I'm currently playing around with. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.